Record room software.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to a very special devlog. A long time ago I announced that I was working on a secret project. A few months ago I was announcing that it was the Ultimate Quester, a plugin that basically replaces existing questing plugins and making it a lot easier to work with. Since this time I have been working very hard to get everything going as I wanted to do. Well, to be honest, I made it work. So, this is the early dev version. I'm still working on extending the amount of actions you can do, as well as working on some bug fixes along the way, some beautification of the system so you can look at it a little bit more nicely. Currently there is no in-game menus or editors. I'm still working on that, but I want to have the base working as a start. Let me just get rid of this creeper for the moment. I do not want him to blow up my signs. There we go, go have a swim. Okay. So I've made two signs here, and to explain the signs a little bit quicker, it's just Quester on the first line, second line the quest name itself. The system works as follows. You have a quest, which is a single file. In that file, you have the requirements list, the activation list, like what is activating it, in this case a sign, as well as the tree, as it's called. A tree is basically a sublevel in the same file that lists all the actions that the quest can do. And you can link all the actions together as you wish. You can keep people in a loop, for example, but you can also get them out different ways. So basically you can create an entire tree of a story, for example, that's working in a single quest. And you can point to other objectives when the objective is done, or for example with a question. So I've made a little example of it. But first, you have requirements, and you need to meet those requirements in order to do the quests. This way you can make a multi-quest NPC, for example, or a multi-quest way of working, like pointing multiple quests to a single NPC and forbid all the other quests until the other quests are done, for example. And I've also added silent ones that do not output anything, so like it's ignoring you at all. So in this case, if I do right click here, you can see that I'm not meeting two criteria of the requirements. I've set two requirements and that I've never done this quest. That's the first one. As you can see, it says that I already completed the quest. The second one is a tag. My system works with special tags. You can add tags to people when they complete their quest. And this tag can be used in any other quest if you do not want to block the other quest from doing it. However, it also allows you to trigger other things without blocking the old ones. So basically you can use tags to tag people that have done certain things, and maybe in the future I can hook multiple other functionality on the tags. For example, give access to this zone when you have that tag on you. Tags are basically the same thing as permissions, but only in the Quester plugin. So as soon as somebody has the tag test quest tag, then they cannot do this quest anymore because they already have the tag, so I forbid them to do. And the last message you get is that you cannot start until you meet the requirements, or you have already completed this quest. So basically it prevents me from doing it. The secondary is something that's basically exactly the same as the first one, but I removed the requirements. So if I now right click, you can now see that it started the quest, and also a conversation starts. It says, welcome to my quest. In this quest you need to collect wood. A stack of 64 oak wood will do. Are you ready for the quest? Is then the question. And I get 3 answers that I can give, and every answer I can give will point to another thing. For example, if I click nah, then I get back, well, come back when you want to help me, like an NPC talking to a person. I can start it again because I did not complete it at all. And as you can see, are you ready for the quest? Now, I want to say maybe. You're not sure, huh? Well, in that case, come back later, okay? So, that way you can make an entire story system. Basically, it talks to the person that triggered the event. And you can make a conversation as long as you want. You have questions in between. You can even make an entire story in a quest. Make a conversation, ask a question, trigger another conversation based on that one, or trigger multiple conversations from different people after each other, like going back and forth. This is all possible using this system. So now let's start the quest like it's normally, like it's normal. Yeah. And in this case, I get the objective in my bottom of my screen. Let me just wait for the chat to disappear. It says objective break block, currently 1 of 64 oak blocks broken. So in this case, it shows me how much I need to break. So I'm going up here and start breaking blocks. And as you can see, the count is starting to go up automatically. Until I reach 64, of course. So in this case I have 63, and if I now do it, objective completed. Great, now to bring them to the secret hideout. And as you can see, my bar changed towards bring to location, bring 64 oak log to the coordinates, and you can also see how far I'm away from the secret hideout. This way is a little bit easier to find the location where you need to go. So as you can see, I'm flying and you can see the count going down. To prevent any lag, it only checks you every 5 seconds. I believe 5 to 10 seconds. And as you can see, I do not have enough items yet. And it will keep saying that until I have the required items, since I have just 1 oak log. However, I triggered them now. And there we go. Objective completed. It took away my oak logs. It triggered a conversation again, and it rewarded me with 10 golden apples. And now is the quest complete. Which means, if I go back to the sign and try to trigger it, it says I completed the test quest, because the requirement was that I have not done test quest 2. So as you can see, you can make any quest as you wish. So let's switch up to the configuration file to show you how the quest file is made up. So here we are in the test file. In this case it's test quest 1. So let me just close down all the other tabs. As you can see here, we have the name of the quest, the type, a sign in this case. The NPC ID is for when you use civilians, basically the those people that walk around, the NPCs. And we can enter the number here to let that NPC trigger this one. The requirement has not done test quest, which means I have not done this quest yet. Well, if I have done it, then I will not meet this one anymore, and I will not be able to do this quest. And I may not have the tag, my quest tag test. This is really the one that's how it works, basically. So in this case, you have 3. This is what I was talking about, the quest tree, basically the actions. It always starts at the first action in the list. So that cannot be changed at all. Not even close. The type is conversation, which means I have a conversation with an NPC or whatever. The timing is 2, so every 2 seconds it triggers the next message. And these are the messages it will go through. And when it's done, it will go to action number 2. Action number 2 is this one. So you might wonder, why is this here? Well, it doesn't follow the tree line. It follows where it needs to go. So in this case, go to 2 means go to objective 2. Which is a question. It asks me if I'm ready for the quest. Like in-game it showed. Then I can see the answers. Yeah, nah, maybe. And the actions corresponding to this list. So yeah, goes to the first one. Nah, second one, maybe, third one. And also go to 3 means go to objective 3. go to B2 will go to this B2. 4 means go to action 4. So in this case, if you, for example, do the na, you go to B2 and it starts another conversation with just a single message. And then it says access the quest, which means it accesses the quest completely without adding any tag or adding any finished quest because you exited it early. If you go to the objective number 3, break block is the type. I want 64 blocks to be broken and the material must be oak log. When you have done this, it must go to B3, which is this one. So it's not very hard to configure it. It basically is do this, then do that. And if somebody completed it, do that, start over. If they did it, do that, start over. And the easy way of this one is basically that it allows me to build a system on it, which makes it even more easy to configure it, even in game. I can simply make an in-game list of things that basically click the button, add objective, click the type of the objective, fill in the requirements, and done. And then simply do it again and point to the different objectives that you made earlier or not made yet and keep on. If an action doesn't exist, the quest is on hold basically. It stops the quest completely because, yeah, well, it's broken. So in this case, you can see multiple conversations here. And then you see here number 5, which is bring to location. Almost the same as a visit location, but in this case we need to bring items to the location. The location is spread out with a world and the coordinates. So you can also specify a separate world for it. You can set take when done to take the items that people had to deliver, or you can turn it to false to let them keep the items. The material is oak logs, the amount is 64, and when it's done, it needs to go to 6. 6 is a conversation again, which talks to me that I have completed the work. Then it says to go to reward. Basically, you can name every objective as you wish. I gave them numbers and letter combinations as well as a name. And as you can see, type is give item, golden apple, 10. Action when done, finish, but with a tag behind it. If you enter a tag behind it, it automatically adds a tag to the user that finished the quest. This way you can finish a different location with the tag. For example, I can put this finish, for example, to the maybe conversation. When I do that and change this tag, then it will finish this quest. So it gets on the finish list, but with a different tag, for example. So you can have different endings, and depending on the endings, you can have different other quests being worked on. So in this case, for example, people need to explore a cave. For example, visit the location deep inside a cave. And when they are there, they need to make a choice. Go left or go right. They need to talk to an NPC there to tell them to go left or go right. And depending on that one, you can set a tag for this end of the quest. And when they are out of the cave, you can, for example, put the second quest in working and check which tag they have. And depending on the tag they have, you can trigger a different quest to start. For example, the story of the guy that fell out of the cliff because you pointed him the wrong way. So you can make it as you wish, as deep as you wish, as extensive as you want it to be, without having any hard ways of coding it. For example, I found another quest plugin. I'm not going to pronounce the name because it's a very good quest plugin. However, it fails miserably on the easiness of the plugin. Even though it has GUIs built in, it has all the features you can wish for, but it is so massive that people are losing the way and need hours of work to get one quest done. And beside that, it uses like multiple different files to make one quest. This is all going out of bounds. I do not want to go out of bounds with this one. So in this case, those files can be made as much as you want. And you can make as many quests as you want, as easy as you want, as small or large as you want. You can trigger everything. And every player gets its own file with the UUID of the player. And as you can see here, you can see that I have 2 times the my quest tag test because I did 2 times a quest that give me the same tag. This is not something to worry about, because it always checks if you have at least one of these, and then it triggers yes or no. The test quest is basically unique. If you finish the quest, this quest is getting entered, or this quest, as long as they do not keep doing it, because then, yeah, well, it keeps on adding to the list that they completed the quest again and again and again. This can be hooked into later on, maybe, if I make something like how many times did you complete the quest, or how many times do you have that tag. This is making it way more easy for me to finish or solve those types of requirements and tests. To go back to the test quest, there is some requirements that I have not talked about. For example, you can set an XP level requirement. For example, you need at least 20 XP levels to start. And if you do a queue before it, with a... I have my caps lock on again. No. Oh, I'm pressing Control. If you put a queue before has not done, then it will not announce what the requirement is that failed. So, for example, if I give them both a queue in front of them, then it will only say you cannot start this quest. It will not say why you cannot start the quest. It will not say that you have not done the quest, or that you have already done the quest. It will not say that you have done the other stuff, basically. In this way, you can make it as extensive as it wants with the most easy tools you can think of. So if you have any suggestions for my plugin as it currently is, more other visuals, more advice, more triggers maybe, more objective types, just post them down below in the comments, or go to my Discord and talk to me live about this plugin. Ask away as you want, and also provide suggestions as you want as well. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next devlog. Good luck!